This right here is hopefully not for the second to last time. The DC Defenders Show on United Football Media. It is playoff season. Our man Tay over there, he told us from the beginning. He said this is a playoff team. This is going to be a top upper echelon team. This is going to be a championship contender. And it all came true throughout the season. Our DC Defenders are in the playoffs, and we are ready for a showdown upcoming. The best rivalry in the UFL. Battlehawks, DC Defenders. Battlehawks earned that number one spot. They earned the home playoff game. So the DC Defenders will be going into what has potential to be. I haven't seen really any murmurs about the way the ticket sales are moving. Hopefully it'll be, I don't know if it's going to be what it would have been in other years, but still, what has potential to be the craziest home field situation ever in the history of both the XFL, the USFL, the UFL, all of it, because St. Louis is finally hosting a playoff game. There isn't going to be too much in-depth metrics-wise, statistics-wise for us to go into this. This might be a little bit of a shorter episode because this is fairly cut and straightforward. We all know the cast of characters by now. There's no more education to give. There's no more information to give out. You hear about this a lot in the documentary series that the NFL Network did, NFL Films did, called America's Game, where it's the Super Bowl teams and they go through their whole season. When they get to the playoffs, they get to the Super Bowl. Hey, at this point, there ain't too much left to say. We all know who all these people are. We know who the stacked teams are. I do want to say real quick, just a quick flashback to the last week of the season. Mike DiLiello, again, looked real good, was real mobile, had a live arm, enjoyed what I saw. I hope however the hiring process for coaching and coaching staffs develops in the UFL going forward, I hope whoever is making those decisions, when they have those conversations, I hope it's a conversation about how it's going to be an offensive system that favors Mike DiLiello. Obviously, we have talked about on this show, somebody like Case Cookus behind our offensive line and that pass pro would be phenomenal for next year. This is, of course, assuming that Tiamu does not come back because he's, the MVP once again. We're guessing he's probably going to get a spot, a chance in a camp. Although that's not for sure. We'll discuss that more in the end of season recap. Because despite an MVP caliber season, I don't know. I think maybe NFL teams, possibly some of them, have seen as much of Jordan Tiamu as they feel like they need to see. Like, cool, you could do it on this level, but we've seen you in camps a bunch of times. You're like 5 years removed from college graduation, late 20s. We know what you are. We don't need to bring you in. I don't think that's going to be the case for everyone, so I'm just going to count on him moving on because that's what you got to do when a guy has an MVP caliber season. So I hope whoever handles that situation for the UFL and for the Defenders, it's a good system that DiLiello can thrive in, or, I hope maybe we can get a Case Cookus. Dresser Wynn looked real good. Maybe he real good against a good pass protection. The beautiful thing about the Defenders, we have the best pass protection line in the league. So be interested to see which quarterback ends up filling that role next year, and if it is DiLiello. But on to the business at hand here. Again, it's Max Duggan. It's the running game. It's that offensive line. It's Jacob Sailors. We know these names. We know the guys involved. Tampa Manu on the defensive line on the other side. Solid defense over there in Battlehawk land. Good coaching staff with Anthony Becht. Insane home field advantage. But more often than not, the Defenders have had these guys' number. And now what's funny is we were getting ready to come into this and say, hey, this is just man up football. Just go crazy. They're running the ball. We got to stop the run. Force them to throw against you. Force them to use Max Duggan as a drop back passer. Then this Brandon Silvers thing the last few weeks is concerning. He has come in. He has looked sharp. It's still a tall order Is it a tall order, though? Because will the real DC Defenders defense please stand up? Please stand up. Because the first 5 weeks were the best defense in the league. The last 5 weeks were the worst defense in the league. I don't, which one of you guys, who's showing up on Sunday? Now, if we're going against a one-dimensional offense, cool. You just go crazy, attack with, 8 in the box, 9 in the box, make them throw. Easy to figure out. But if we have to go against a real, legitimate conventional offense with Brandon Silvers looking pretty damn solid, pretty sharp the last few weeks, I don't know how that's going to go. Luckily, as far as the defense goes, Jordan Tiamu will be back in there. He's in MVP form. I'm sure Fred Keiss, he has all of his fun trick stuff that they've worked on over the year, locked and loaded and ready to go. The defenders have some of the best trick plays in the league, whether it be the tackle leaking out to catch a pass, whether it be a reverse pass back to the quarterback from Chris Rowland. All UFL team, by the way, shouts out Chris Rowland, your guy. You were talking about that at the beginning of the year. He's did a great job. We had a ton of guys make the all UFL team, by the way. It's basically the all Battlehawks, all defenders, all Stallions team. But so congrats to all those guys. The offense is going to be at full strength. Deion Jackson, the offensive line, Jordan Tiamu playing MVP style football. So even if Brandon Silvers is in and the conventional offense is working as it has been for the last 5 weeks, we still got the high-powered offense that has been fantastic for many weeks now. We have an MVP caliber quarterback. Even in that scenario, it could still be knock them down, drag them out. We should not get blown out. It should be a close game. I think for one single game, even though the defenders have given up a lot rushing on the ground, and even though they've given up a lot of rushing touchdowns the last few weeks, these are still the same names. These are still the same people from the beginning of the season. One game, we need you guys to nut up and get back to that level of intensity and discipline for one game to ruin this for the Battlehawks. I think they can do it. I think they will do it. These are still the same guys. There's no reason that they can't. Come in there, hit hard, hit that hole, show them that you are here to dominate this line of scrimmage and dominate this game physically, and then let the offense do his thing. Now, if it's a Brandon Silvers game and he starts dotting it up, could be a stressful evening. What are your keys to victory, Tay? Big week, the craziest home field that there's ever going to be in the UFL. DC Defenders. If it wasn't for tough luck, we'd have none at all. That's all right. We started off this season, people thinking we had no chance against Birmingham that first week after the coach left during the week leading up to the game. And what did we do? Go out and whoop that ass. So, sure, it's perfect. It's a perfect thing to have started that way in week 1. And now here we are in the playoffs in this situation, all the way in week 11, once again, looking uphill at a mountain. What are your keys to victory, Tay?
Well, I've loved the offense, the second half of the year. Offense has been pretty good to me. We got a bunch of receivers, more than capable, more than willing to, make the right plays. We had a week or two, a couple bad drops, but I feel like that's been cleaned up. Like a receiver, that's like the least of my concerns there. O-line is really good. Run game has been solid the whole year. I mean, I have no issue offensive side of the ball. I mean, just keep doing what we've been doing. Give Deion Jackson the ball maybe 10 times. Tiamu, he might have to throw the ball 30 times, 25, who knows? But everyone needs to play their best game. This could be the last game of the season. With knowing that, you got to play your best football. And offensively, I feel like I'm more confident in the offense. It's just based off of what I've seen recently. The offense doesn't really have any issues, honestly. So, like I said, I'm more confident in the offense. The defense, now that's going to be kind of a projection because the defense has just been so, bad. The second half of the year, I don't know how that happens. I couldn't even explain it, but you start off strong. I guess teams are
Well, you
watching.
explain it that we lost a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator in the middle of
Oh
the
well,
season.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, so and I don't want to put it all on Blake Jackson because Blake Jackson's not out there making tackles.
that's true.
And we've seen horrendous tackling in the last 3 weeks. So I don't want to put it all on him, but if you're looking for an answer when you talk about well, it was the best defense in the league the first 5 games and that's been the worst, and you lost one of the most prolific defensive coordinators that there exists in football, it has to have something to do with it. Now, again, Blake Jackson's not out there making tackles, and neither are the DC Defenders defense. So that ain't his fault. That part of it ain't his fault. But I would say anybody looking at this logically would say that has to have some sort of a large impact.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, we've been through so many different coaching changes. Before the season, during the season. So, yeah, I mean, even to get here, this amazing season. No one had the Defenders in the playoffs. I didn't hear it. Outside of here, I didn't hear people saying that. So, regardless of whatever happens, it was a great regular season, and now it's playoff time. We got to play our best football. Like I said, defense hasn't shown anything to look forward to, but maybe they have a switch, and we won't know. We really won't know until Sunday. And hopefully that happens. Hopefully we can get in there and get some sacks. Hopefully they start Duggan. I like our chances a lot better with Tim out there, because he's not as scary of a passer, So that would be nice. And we know they want to run the ball. Like, why wouldn't you? They just got so much talent on their team. Yeah. So the Battlehawks are a good team, and I wouldn't take too much into what happened the last week of the regular season, because
no.
That didn't really mean anything. So on the road, you're just gonna have to get it done. I feel like this is a championship game, because you don't beat the Battlehawks and then flame out in the championship. So you need to get to the championship. I love our chances. Like I said, I'm expecting the offense to carry the weight. That's honestly how it's been. That's how it's been, especially in like those big games that we won. So we beat everyone pretty much. So I mean, just another game. So hopefully get it done.
So, and don't want to be bad luck, but slight look ahead. If we do get this done, we already beat the Stallions. Know we can do that. And then if it's the Panthers, then if the Panthers with Bryce Perkins hooping, then we'll have to just figure that out when we get there. If that's even the case, it's a good problem to have.
That's how it goes. Teams got these great players. You just got to do what you can. Watch as much film as you can. Practice is, try to replicate what you'll see. But I mean, like you said, you just got to do what you can.
Well, the biggest thing ultimately here is all of you out there, you Tiamu day one truthers, you Tiamu supporters. If he's the MVP, these 2 games is where to show it, because he's going into the best hostile, home field advantage that there is. And I think there's a good chance we're gonna need this offense to be humming. So he's gonna have to put on an MVP performance. And then if we end up having to play against Bryce Perkins, we saw how that went last time. We're gonna need better. So it's all there. It's all there. It's all possible. Tiamu can show and prove once and for all. He is the man. He is the most valuable player in this league. And a championship is also there to be had. Straight up and down. Defense, need you to put your best foot forward. Either come downhill on that running game, or at least hold the fort down for a few possessions if it's a conventional passing attack with Brandon Silvers. It can be done. You guys know the stories. You guys know the names. Ain't much else to say. Let's go out and give this win. Burn down that Battle Dome. This right here has been the DC Defender Show on United Football Media.